Hello and welcome to another episode of Alan Writes. We're still working on Lucky Gold, and I'm gonna finish this out sooner or later. We've passed the first third mark, but I think I have a way to go because we're gonna short some of it. I don't need to tell the entire backstory for how Heather got the artifact. I'm gonna sum it up now because after this point it gets boring for her story. And you might notice that I said I was going to be, I was going to be finishing this up, doing another session immediately after the one that I originally did. I kind of lied about that. I got distracted by something else, and that happens in writing. And it's unfortunate that it happened, but there you go. There you go. Sometimes life intrudes. So we're going to be picking this up now, seeing how far we can carry it before my ardor fades. So now, Heather felt Daniel's eyes weigh heavily upon her. The story she told had been exciting enough. Oh, by her standards. But he seemed less than and they let you keep it, he asked, gesturing toward the golden relic. No customs, no arguments. Colombia and the U.S. not to mention Panama or the United Nations. Yep, I signed some papers and they started arguing with each other. Summed up. Frankly, I was too worn out by then. After the after Delta Force or whoever picked us up, rescued us, I only knew one guy. His name was Mike. That's an inside joke. If you ever talk to operators in the field, they don't really care about names. They don't want you to know their real name because, that's a safety or security thing. So they'll just call me Mike, whatever. You call all of them Mike, whatever. Unless you're an operator yourself and you get to know them, you don't need to know their names. They can just be generic good guy. All right. I only knew one guy, and his name was Mike. Rescued us and dropped us safe and sound at an air base on U.S. soil, and I wasn't really paying attention. This is a cover for me not having done my research yet. But it's valid given her state. A four-way pull for a golden relic and I was the easiest diplomatic solution. And so, until they hammer it out, I keep it safe. No museum, Daniel asked. If it goes into a museum, then that museum potentially usurps other rights. But as, what would they call it? Not a personal possession. She doesn't own it. I'm going to research. I'm going to look into all this, Good. That'll establish that I'm trustworthy. Well, it's rich. Daniel nodded toward her. Yeah, it would. I mean, I can't say I understand how damn morning sneeze. It's not COVID. I don't think it's COVID. I'd have to get tested to be sure, but I've been pretty well isolated. I can't say I understand how any of this really works. How did Gus find out? Don't know, she replied. Honestly. I'm still trying to figure it all out. Do you think you were, why did he come? He thought the item, the relic brings me luck. Thought that. Crazy, right? She blinked at that. Was it? Was her phenomenal luck all part of some delusion? Possibly. But it felt real. And delusions usually had a layer of unreality to them. Feeling of disconnect. At least that had been her experience. But was that still true? She's a scientist, and when dealing with mental illness, or the possibility of mental illness, you find yourself second guessing things and going, well, did I really understand that? Do things really work that way? And that's where you need other people to keep you sane. Because it's the larger the group, the less likely it is to go completely crazy. But was that still true? Maybe. Maybe not. That's why Daniel was here. the important thing is that Gus believed that others would be coming. As I said. Right. Others. Think they'll try and break in? Could be. That's why I'm staying here. That's why I want you to work for me. Assuming that friendship is still off the table. For now. I'll replied. I'd prefer to keep this profession. It's too odd not to need that. He had his code. The man clearly had his code. He was keeping to it. That's business for you. Or rather, it wasn't her experience with scientists. Not the good ones. Oh, you have the occasional credit grabber. Or well-educated idiot. Screw things up. Alright, I'm going up dry. I don't generally work with scientists. They're interesting people. But I haven't gotten a grip on necessarily how they see the world. At least not as it applies here. For the most part, they were all in it together. No, I don't. They got along. What with their goals being similar. All right. With their lives being similar. Okay. He wasn't going to get any more from him. At least not. She thought about Gus. The flash of silver. The twist of thoughts. Could she do that? A pulse from the relic answered none of her questions. Maybe her friend, maybe the dead king could. Now was not the time to try. She would have to experiment with that soon. Not to control people. Not to control people. That was wrong. And she's already feeling the bit the lure of power here. She has to should make their own choices. Shouldn't be compelled, but convinced. And though it would be useful, knowledge always was, she could let that be for a while. Heather? She blinked and found him looking worried at her. His features like a dog hunting, but watching instead from the bed beside the computer table. Had they been talking about? Sorry. Sorry. Drifted off. Deep thoughts. She said. Got it. It's been a rough day. It's been a rough time. He replied. So, what is it you want to do? Find out about Gus. Who is he? Who is he really? What, where did he live? Anything new? I'm not a private detective. I'm not a private detective. Then hire one. I've got the money. Do you need a retainer? Retainer and an account? Something like that. Something I can use to get answers from others, because this isn't my town, and I don't really know people here. Dana said. But research and preparation is my thing. I'll do that. Thanks. Don't thank me. Set up the account. and I'll get to work. When I have something useful, I'll then thank me. Sure, she said, and stepped over to the house phone. Setting up an account was also beyond her ordinary ken things. But and what was his name? Ned Krause. Nadir, Mr. Nadine. Help her with that. In return, she'd go down and play a few games to satisfy his need to show that she was still a whale that the casino could land. For that matter, maybe the casino had there was a voice on the other end of the phone, mere moments after she picked it up. How can I help you? The phone was a flat black throwback with the bat emblem at the base. She hit 9 for the operator. A voice cracked. Triumphant Casino. Hospitality. How can I help you? Okay, so Dan was going to go off and do stuff. We can focus on him initially, and he's going to find out all the stuff that he needs to about Gus, and a little more, and he's going to, this is just from the casino report. Casino report. A hot take. It's a hot take. In touch with a detective. He'll sort them until he's happy with the character of who he contacts. Takes a while. Meanwhile, Tyler Cross makes an entrance. How to become a whale. quick, easy steps. Deposit a lot of money at the casino. Then play big hands with chips. He doesn't have a record, but he has references. The casino is taken in. The din makes a call. Arranges a meeting. The two spar. Tyler is less than pleased that he can't get under the din's skin, but he might still be able to compel those close to him. All right. I figure at the halfway point or a little over, the din is going to perish in some way, some terrible, terrible Tyler Kraus way. And he's going to make a point. Kraus is going to arrange the death of the din to make a point with Heather. All right. Her focus shifts to him, but Daniel stays on Gus. He and a PI to be named. Interrogate the man. After the PI builds some rules with the police. Need an attorney. Need an attorney too. Probably gonna need an attorney too. So this is Daniel setting up a team that Heather's going to need and lead, sort of. At least we're getting down to the point where it's starting to congeal. The story has started to form, and I may end up switching things around or changing things up, or starting in the middle of the story starting in the middle of the story, which in Res Media can be a very powerful thing, as long as it's a lure for people to figure out what's going on. I've done a little bit of that with the flashbacks to the Colombian jungle, but maybe that's not enough. We'll see. But I hope you've enjoyed this this very short to barely 2 pages, page and a half of work for half an hour. You know, this is what it takes just for this first draft, and then there's revisements that come afterwards. But I hope you've enjoyed this. This is how writing is done. So stay safe and take care out there. All right. Thanks.